Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Battle of Generations, Pia versus Gotham, here in Stockholm, Sweden. This is the sixth and final day. We have 12 Blitz games to play, and I have a 4-game lead going into today's section, courtesy of a very good performance in the Rapid. This has been a very, very fun event. I'm going to summarize some of the games that happened today. Then I will have some thoughts in the outro on the event in general. And remember, this event was graciously sponsored by Surfshark. So, a quick word from Surfshark. Folks, Pia versus Gotham, Battle of Generations is presented by Surfshark. And if you don't know, Surfshark is a VPN, which is a virtual private network that allows you to encrypt your connection to the internet so you can browse it privately and anonymously. And there are several reasons why you may want to use a VPN. First, imagine you're traveling like I am now, and maybe the hotel Wi-Fi where you're at is not secure. You want to connect to a sensitive portal like a bank, or maybe the job that you're working at. Well, you can use Surfshark at that hotel, and that'll give you an extra layer of protection when browsing the internet. Second, let's say you're at a hotel playing a chess tournament, and in your downtime, you want to watch some of your favorite shows. But the thing is, when you travel, the local catalog may not be the same on your favorite streaming service. You want to watch The Office, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, The Gentleman, you name it. Well, if you use Surfshark, you can connect to a different location, and oftentimes, your favorite show will reappear. Lastly, you know how I got here? On a plane. The next time you want to buy a plane ticket or book a hotel getaway, try to use Surfshark. You may be shocked at some of the savings that you will experience when you are connecting and buying those tickets from several locations around the world. Surfshark is available on an unlimited number of devices, and they have a 30-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked, so you don't have to hesitate to try it out. Folks, Surfshark is offering an epic deal for those of you that are following the Pia versus Gotham Battle of Generations. Go to surfshark.com/Pia Gotham. That'll get you an exclusive Surfshark deal with the best price on the market and 4 extra months free. All right, let's get back to this recap. Thank you, as always, to sponsored Gotham. My friends, it was a very, very, very fun match. And like I said, I'm going to share some more thoughts on my general outlook and perspective. I just want to thank all of you for supporting. First of all, folks like Surfshark for actually supporting the prize fund of the event. It wasn't easy to put on an event like this, by the way. You know, everybody folks have to get paid, and production of some. We didn't have a massive production team, but shout out to Daniel for all his work producing. It was a big effort. A lot of people, gave us space graciously. The chess bar here in Stockholm, Svarta Hästen. Definitely check it out if you ever come to Stockholm. No, it's just very special, and I had a lot of fun. And I was a bit nervous going into the Blitz because even though I'm a better online Blitz player than Pia, 3+2 Blitz over the board is completely different. And I was a little nervous. 12 games, I got a 4-point lead. Like, do I play aggressively? Do I not play aggressively? I opened up with D4, and I went back to the London because the last couple of times that I've played the London, I've gotten some very nice positions against Pia. And then for the second game in a row, she played knight to h5, which, yesterday I played bishop e5, f6, and then I went back with my bishop, and I had looked at that a little bit, but then she went e6. She played it quite quickly. Knight h5 is not really a Pia move. I mean, it's immediately going for imbalance. And by the way, if any of you are looking for an interesting weapon against the London, this very well might be it. After e6, I didn't exactly know how to react, so I went c3. So I spent 30 seconds just adapting to the time control. Really not a good idea. Then I went back, and then she went g6. She kind of patiently waited to take my knight. I went bishop e2. This is not a very good move. It's way more natural to put the bishop on the d3 square, but I wasn't thinking particularly great yet. And then here I should take with the e-pawn. Instead, I go here. And right away, I was like, wait a minute, this is bad because she just gets to play e5, which of course she did. And so from the opening, I'm down a minute and I have a worse position. We're really not off to a good start in the Blitz whatsoever. And you don't have any time. I mean, you just got to make moves. So I went queen c2 just to develop my queen. She went f5. Maybe a bit of a weakening move, but I didn't really know what to do here, so I castled, which the computer doesn't really like. It thinks that black immediately is slightly better. But I thought, look, this is my style of position, right? Like these complex, like imbalanced structures, dynamic chances everywhere. And Pia's played queen a5 after 30 seconds of thought, which is kind of crazy, like that queen a5 is such a drastic blunder according to the computer. I mean, I didn't respond direct. I mean, she's attacking my pawn, but queen a5 is not what she should do, although it looked very natural to play queen a5, bishop e6, and rook b8. But actually, I found this nice move, knight b3 followed by c4, and actually, I'm the one who's going to be opening the position faster than she is. Now, I'm down to below a minute here, but like, this is where I thrive, honestly. Like, when I don't have any hindrances and anxieties, and I'm just sort of flowing, I traded in the center. You know, I found this idea a4 to put the bishop on b5, and I did that, and then I went here, and now I'm just thinking like, I'm going to go f4 and then put my knight here, and I actually quite like my position. The computer is recommending all sorts of ridiculous things here, but that's exactly what happens. And I think Pia's idea here was to end up bringing her rook, but she can't ever do it because of this pawn. And when she realized that, she rushed to open, first she rushed to open the position, but now, you know, she can't move the other rook because the pawn on h7 is hanging, and yet that is the top engine move, because otherwise black is totally like busted. So she goes into the endgame here, she trades pieces, and she wanted to play rook c8, which is the best move. She, you know, hovered over her rook, but she realized I take a pawn with check. But actually, that's fine, because after rook h7, king g8, I'm losing. So just on, you know, like, it shows that, you know, in Blitz, the first instinct for her is just to be safe. She doesn't want to lose a pawn with check, whereas I would have been like, oh, yeah, of course I can just lose the pawn because she can't take it. So she went here, and she protected against the rook h7, but she blundered d5. And now the bishop is hanging and the rook is hanging. And, you know, the whole day I really felt like it's such a shame that we just played 5 days of, like, high-level chess, classical chess, rapid chess, and, you know, we have this Blitz, and look, you know, Anna Kramling and I talked about the format in advance. She liked this format. She sort of pitched this format and a lot of the rapid games yesterday. But to be honest, we probably should have just maybe not played Blitz, because after so much classical and rapid, it's just not fair. I mean, Pia's 33 years older than me, and to force her to play 12 Blitz games is, I mean, it's just a freaking lot of Blitz. And like, you know, rapid and classical would have been quite nice. And I felt quite ridiculous. I talked about this during the show. Like, you won't have, you know, mistakes like this. And that's, it is what it is. I guess it's part of the game. And maybe rapid and Blitz total should have been equal to the classical. I'm not sure. Anyway, I didn't have a lot of time to really like dwell on this, because Pia played an absolutely unbelievable game and just absolutely destroyed me. And I'm going to show it to you, although, yeah. So it was d4, d5. And this game, I played knight bd7, and we played a semi-Slav. So I played c6. I've been playing a lot of different pawn structures. I played b5, and I played bishop b7, and basically the idea is to do this. So we both castled. And then here, I played too lackadaisically, actually. It would have been better for me to probably have the bishop on e7, which is correct, not on d6. And she made me realize that right away. If she plays e4, I'm going to go for e5. But she has this idea, which is a problem, because now she gets to take my knight. And whatever I take back with, she goes there, which apparently is the wrong move. But as far as I was concerned, yeah, that just, to me, was the best move. She planted a rook there. I wanted to go knight d7 here, but I got really worried. She has some crazy Greek gift sacrifice, which I think she does, actually. So I quickly played here, and I just got a terrible position because she just went knight e5. So now I'm probably not even in time to play this move, and she just absolutely clamps down. So she threatens mate on h7, then she does this, and I am just squashed. I have a terrible position, and slowly, she just improves it. And I mean, yeah, look at her rerouting the bishop to b1, f3. I tried to create a little bit of confusion here. I traded the bishops, but she won a pawn. And then she went here, and then she took an a5. And the crazy thing is, she's losing here, but I don't think it's findable with 5 seconds on the clock. I never even realized. But I can sack my rook on d4, which it's kind of nuts. It kind of shows, like, you know, how absurd Blitz is. And I guess I, you know, fought back into the game a little bit. But the point is, like, rook takes d4. She can't take with the queen. If she goes here, I go here. And her queen has nowhere to go. It has to, you know, the queen has to protect the pawn. And if she goes here, I just go here. And I just straight up win the game. Like, it's kind of nuts. I didn't see that, of course. I went here, and she just trapped my queen. But it was, yeah, I mean, I got slaughtered. And I didn't have any time to feel bad that we were playing Blitz because she immediately bounced back with a very, very convincing victory. And then we played again, and I went e4. So my plan was to play more e4 in the Rapid and Blitz, because I know that she's a Sicilian player, and so I don't know too much about the Sicilian that she plays. She really likes to play the Taimanov with e6, knight c6, as well as e6, a6. So I just prepared a bunch of e4 sidelines, like I played e4, knight f3, b3, which is very interesting. And then I set up a double fianchetto, so like this, bishop b2, she went here, I played d4, and this is actually just a fascinating way to play. You just put your bishops like this against the e6 Sicilian. It led to some super combative chess. Knight c3, she traded in the center, and then we traded, and yeah, here I just broke open the center of the board because I was like, I have queen and bishop, and one day I might checkmate black, right? And so this was the position we got. It's a very rich position. Like, it's got a lot of open space. The bishops are very strong. I thought I was a little bit better in the opening. I thought this was probably wrong because it allowed me to centralize my knight. I totally missed here. I have this beautiful move, knight d5. The point is she can't take with a pawn because of this. I didn't even consider it. She can't take with a knight because she gets mated. But I went here. This I thought was a mistake because it allowed me to do this. And here I was very confident. And, you know, she actually spent a lot of time after I went rook c7. She has 22 seconds to 128. So keep in mind, this is the third game of the Blitz. I still have a 4-game lead. And at this point, I'm like, well, this is easy. I mean, she's down to 20. Like, I'm up a full minute. Like, of course, I'm just going to easily win this game. But I didn't see how. And what I should have done here is I should have played h3 in 2 seconds. And I should have just, like, let her make a move. But I looked for so many knockout punches that now I spent like 40-something seconds and I went rook a7. I didn't see it. I didn't see how to win. She goes here. Suddenly she has queen d1 and knight g4. So I go h3. She gives me a check. She takes the knight. And now it's a scramble. Not only is it a scramble, for whatever reason, I didn't take this bishop. Like, I just didn't see it was hanging. She goes here. And now I'm just worse. Not only am I worse, I'm suddenly like borderline losing, and I have 4 seconds. So I go from up a minute with a really, really nice position to Pia just completely outplaying me. Just like I just was like not expecting it at all. And now we just get into a scramble, and basically every move is bad. She goes here, which is a good move. I go here, attacking the bishop. The bishop goes here. She blunders her central pawn because we have 5 seconds with 2-second bonus. She goes here. Here I couldn't believe I wasn't winning. So I went rook c6, attacking the queen and losing the pawn that the rook was just protecting, because I'm basically, you give me 5 seconds, I become you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always tell you guys in Guess the Elo, how can you make a move attacking a piece which is just going to go take, because that's life. I can't go bishop c6. So I go here, she takes. Now I'm like, what? So I went here because if she moves the knight, she gets mated. Great move by her, beautiful coordination, and I blunder the entire game. Just, yeah. It should have, I should have went to like here so that when she played rook e2, I could play queen f3, but I'm a pawn down. I have, it was an interesting game before it became a complete circus. She held her nerves much better than me, and all of a sudden, I'm down 2-1 in Blitz, which, if you read the armchair chess savants predictions of this match beforehand, like on Reddit or something, or in some common threads, you would think like, Blitz, I'm gonna win. She's gonna crush me in Rapid and Classical, definitely in Classical. So when I lost this game, I felt really stupid, because I was up a minute with a pretty good position. So I'm only up 3 games now, and there's 9 games left. And I had to sit there. We had like 5-6 minutes before between each game, and I'm just sitting there like, wow, what am I doing? Like, this is really, really bad. I need to make a change, right? So in the next game, I, for the first time in this match, decided that I was going to play the Queen's Gambit Accepted, which I hadn't played. And, against e3, which is what Pia plays, I can play a couple of different lines, but I went bishop g4 because it's Blitz. It's not the best move. But it's, I know the plans. I've played them 100 times. And the momentum completely, just absolutely shifted in the direction of Pia at this point, because not only is she winning, 2 out of the first 3 games, she plays a line which I haven't looked at in ages. This is one of the best and trickiest lines, and you delay the capture on c4. So I just walked into her preparation. Clearly, she prepared this before the match, so it's a good thing I was playing more solidly. I play e6, knight c4, I give a check, and I castle. But like from the opening, white is just better. Like this setup is just good, and I'm trying to fight back. I play c5. She just brings her rook, and I'm feeling the pressure. Like, I'm only up 3 games now. I just got crushed in the last game. I'm playing queen e7. And, Pia here just like a surgeon. You know how many people here would like bring a rook and improve the position, maybe put a knight? Pia takes the pawn, and the only way to make progress here is to trade the queens. You just offer a queen trade. And this is like typical Pia chess. Takes, the knight is in my... I play b6, so the pawn is out of the way, but she's just much better here. Now, sometimes to completely capitalize on your advantage, you can't just make improving moves. You have to play dynamically, and here probably g4 is necessary to play knight e5. Like, sometimes you need to combine good positional play with a bit more dynamic play, and yeah, I mean, if Pia played a g4, it would have been really unpleasant. She went here, I brought my rook, and now she does play dynamically. She plays b4, which is good enough. After I go knight e4, she takes, and now she plays this move, and now she comes here, and I am on the ropes now. She has a better bishop, she has a better knight, her king is better, and the rook is coming to the 7th rank. I'm getting crushed. I'm just completely getting crushed. I was so down on myself here. I played rook d8, down 30 seconds on the clock, down, 2 games to 1 in the blitz, quickly spinning out of control, like all of my imposter syndrome, all of my like, negative thoughts that I had, like, don't embarrass yourself in the blitz, etc. Like, I'm like, what is happening? I'm just getting completely crushed. Like, this is absurd. She plays here, and I'm trying to come up with something. I play knight d2 to try to get off to the bishop. The bishop goes here. Like, what even is this position? So now I try to run away with the bishop, so the knight can't take it. I'm trying to, but rook c7, and what do I even do here? And here, luckily, I woke up. I woke up a bit. I played the best move. I allowed the knight in, and I went rook down to d3, and I'm just trying to create a little bit of chaos. Now, she again finds the best move. She brings the knight out of my position, centralizes it, because now she can gallop into my position with knight e6. And she is completely winning, but we have 20 seconds each, and it's not so clear, right? So she's trying to take on g7, I play g5. So now, rook g7, king h8, and she grabs a pawn, and it's mate, but I have knight f3 check. Now, this scares her a bit, because after takes, the reason why she, went with the rook to the distance is not just to take my pawn. She wanted to mate me, and I think here she got a little bit spooked because she realized there's no mate. There's no mate. So you wanna mate, right? But inherently, she also, just because she's that kind of a player, she wants a degree of safety. So not only does she want to threaten a checkmate, she also wants the safety net of going home and defending the king. The winning move here is rook f7, which sets up 2 threats. Rook f8. It's not just the distance mate, but it's also rook f6. And that's really the problem, because now if I play something like h5 and she takes on f6, she's winning. To be honest with you, I did not see rook f7 was possible. I really only saw rook c7, and I mean, I was like, why here? I mean, obviously just rook c7. And also I was like, I don't think I'm winning if I get to her king. I think it's a draw. And she went here. Now I give a check, and I save my king, and I think it's a draw. It's just a perpetual check. But it starts getting a little bit dicey because she gives me a lot of checks, and then she goes here. And now I go e4, which, okay, was not the best move, but now I seal in my bishop, and probably we are heading for a draw. So she repeats, plays rook g7, but she lost on time. She played rook g7, and she lost on time. But, I would have went here, and I think she would have gone, I think she was trying to move somewhere else with the rook, and then it's not so simple. Like, because her king is sort of walled in, I'm going to take a pawn, and then I'm going to go back, and then I'm going to take another pawn, and then I'm, I don't know, I'm probably going to give another check, and if the king runs this, I'm going to take another. So now I've won 3 pawns, right? So I did a decent job trying to save this game and holding on, but it does feel a bit silly, right? To just, we're playing like 30 moves with 5 seconds on the clock, and I managed to win. And this was a very important game, because if I lost this game, it's a 2-game match, and who knows what would happen. And then I managed to rebuild the lead to 4 and 5. And then this game happened, and yeah, this game was sort of like the best lens into our playing styles. Again, I played bishop b4. We've had these. I played very aggressively in this game. I played h6, g5, knight e4. I took a lot of risk. I went after her bishop, and then here I played here, and I wanted to reroute my bishop, but that's not the best plan. I went bishop f8 and bishop g7, but it's just too slow. It's just too slow. Probably I should play slightly differently, but I went bishop f8, bishop g7, and what I should have played here is like queen e7 and finished up my development, but I just played I played, this is a bit too much, and when I was playing this game, I was thinking, if I manage to save and maybe even win this game, the match is mine. Because I think at this point, Pia maybe had like 6 or 7 games to go, and the lead was 4, so I would need just 1 draw. And I just defended, and, she made a lot of look at what she's doing to my position, right? Like, I was sitting there like, oh my god, my queen's about to get trapped, right? Knight g4, so I have to go here. She improves the position. I go here, I castle. And now the winning move here is just e4 just blows open the position. I saw e4. I was like, I think I'm going to go knight takes d4. And then if she goes here, I'm going to play pawn takes, queen f4, and like try to... It's always losing, but she doesn't play e4, and that allows me back into the game, because now I trade off her very powerful knight. And actually, all of a sudden, this massive cluster is falling apart very quickly. Once I got the queen to e7, I actually realized my counterattack is about to be really vicious, and I think I played this game very, very nicely. I played f6, I broke the center, then I played e5, I broke the center again, I invited the knight in, because opposite colored bishops benefit the person who's attacking, and here I locked the center. So I played e4, my bishop just stares, and now I think this was very instructive, king c7, with the idea to simply play rook b8 and b6. And when I saw this coming, I was like, this is my bread and butter right here. This is my playing style. I got to put the game away. And I think when she saw it coming, she actually blundered the pawn on c5, and I gained the momentum. I played b5, queen c4 to trade queens, and I found a nice idea here. She attacked my queen, so I attacked her queen back. And if the rook takes my queen, I take with check, so she has to go here. This is unfortunately just a demolition. I have a beautiful pawn wall, and I have the open b file, and I use my c pawn to break everything apart. Takes rook a3, and she resigned, or I don't know if she had 4 seconds, but rook a1 is unstoppable. She needs to sacrifice. And when I won this game, I clinched the match. I don't exactly remember what the score was. I think maybe we had three more games or something like that. I also just want to show you one bonus game. It was a very fun game. Once I had the match clinched, I tried to play just a bit more fun, like play some. I didn't want to play the cow opening. I get that the cow opening is a meme and it was popularized by Anna Kramling, but I felt disrespectful playing a woman of such a stature and playing the cow opening, even though Anna Kramling herself was like, you should play the cow. Is one of you going to play the cow opening? I was like, I get that we're trying to meme around, but I think Pia has way too much love and respect for the game for me to play the cow. But I'll play b3 because it's a real opening. And it led to a really interesting gambit. I played f3 and e4. It's a super, super interesting gambit where white just goes a pawn down, but castles, and and I was just very happy with this game. I played h3, then I played g4. I developed my pieces. She went after my bishop. I said no thanks. Right, this is a very important moment. I played king b1 and bishop a1, and I think this game showcases my my style and my skills. I traded the knight for the bishop to remove a defender of her king, and there go the pawns. And this is the point of the opening. Black is a pawn up, but a little bit too solid for their own good. Here comes h5, and this is vintage. You know, the way she destroyed me in that positional game, I had to return the favor a little bit, like in the dynamics, the bishop in the corner, just an absolute monster, h6, and this was just a very nice game, I think, like for me. And I didn't play the best. There was like a forced mate somewhere here, but you know, rook f1, bishop c3. Look at all my pieces, and ultimately, she is losing here after queen g5. The knight is hanging and it can't move. Because if it does, this is a mate. And she won the last game. I won the penultimate one. But ultimately, I won the Blitz 7-5. So I won 21-215 by points. The Classical was tied 2-2. The Rapid, I won 4-2. And the Blitz, I won 7-5. So I won 7 points out of 12. For the Rapid, I got 8-4, and that's that was where the match ultimately was won. Rapid was a very tough format for me, but I thought I played very well in the Rapid, except for the checkmate blunder at the end. I thought I understood the positions well. I made good decisions. I was a bit slow on the clock, but look, I just want to say this was an honor for me, and thank you to everybody who helped organize this. Anna, of course, at the forefront. She got a lot of the logistics set. She found the staff, the folks at Svartahasten, like they were awesome. And Daniel, the producer, Carlo, the arbiter. Like I'm just saying names that don't mean anything to some of you watching around the world, but it took a big effort to get this done. And it's an honor to play a player like Pia, who was one of the best women in the world for I don't know, 20 to 30 years. Absolute monster. The Clash of the Styles was such a joy for me to play. I felt like I learned so much preparing for these games. I gained an appreciation for not relying too much on computers for analysis and actually trying to think with my own head. And yeah, it was just very special. My goal for this match was either to win it or at least not embarrass myself if I lost. So when I lost the first game in Classical and I came off that bad tournament, I was so down. I was so upset because I was worried. I mean, I really was worried that I would not bounce back. And for me, this was a big learning experience. Maybe it will not always go like this, but it was a really nice feeling to overcome adversity early in something. Every time I have a bad first game or first two games, my tournaments are horrible, and I'm somehow completely unable to bounce back. And multiple times during this match, I found myself stressing about the position, about the match situation, and I just said, what would Pia do, Pia would just enjoy. She would just play for the love of the game. And that's what I did. I tried to stay positive. I tried to play, and it's a lesson for all of us. Any of us have chess goals or goals in life. You got to enjoy the process. You got to enjoy while you're there. I have so many negative emotions before a chess match, and they all go away when I get to the board. All of them. It's like I don't have time to think about them. I just want to play the game. Today I was so nervous, and I just started playing, and creative ideas were flowing. I played a lot of different openings, and it was just very special. And so many of you, hundreds of thousands of you, watch live, and you watch these recaps. If you haven't watched the interviews, you should go watch me and Pia talk after some of these games. It's just so special. It's so nice. She told me that before the games begin, she likes to put her knights facing each other. And she said it's because they talk to each other during the games. I mean, she's so sweet. It was just a joy, honestly. Playing her felt like being at the Great British Baking Show, it was just so sweet, so nice. And I'm happy I won. Yeah. And the point of this was not to get any Grandmaster norms. The point of this was not to gain any rating. A lot of people thought there was a thread on Reddit where the top comment said I had a 10% chance of winning this match. And I was reading the comments early on, wow, people really think I have no chance. I don't know if I don't have any chance, but people are really convinced I don't have a chance. And now that I won, the comments are, something about the last Classical game, or just like I played an elderly person, and somehow I think that's gonna make me a like, we did this. The whole point of this was to play interesting competitive games for 6 days for hundreds of thousands of people, because people really like Pia, people really like Anna, and people really like me. And I think we did that. And if you watch this event and you come away with negative thoughts about anything that happened, that says a lot more about you than all three of us, everybody who helped organize this, the sponsors, and everybody watching at home. All the hundreds of thousands, millions of total people that watched this event. Thank you. Thank you. And your support means the world. Whether I've met you locally here in Sweden, in Copenhagen, back home, or I haven't met you, but maybe I will in the future. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching, and maybe more one-on-one matches like this will happen in the future. So you all have something fun and enjoyable to watch, to follow along, to cheer for, to get inspired by, and to maybe pursue some goals and dreams of your own. You can hear it here from maybe your favorite chess content creator first. I suffer with so much stuff in my brain, so much negativity, and I managed to overcome it this week, and I'm very proud of myself. And that's all I have to say. Get out of here.